Star Wars was a big hit in 1977, and there were no toys on the shelf, so other toy companies took advantage, even after Kenner got toys out on the market. Toys that had any kind of alien or robots or anything in their warehouse, they was throwing them out there trying to get some Star Wars sales. So let's look at some of the Star Wars rip-off toy lines. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you. And we're going to look at Star Wars rip-off toys. Now, first, we're not going to look at bootleg toys. That's where, some fly-by-night company takes, like, the molds or close to the molds and tries to make it look like the figures on the shelf. That's more of a bootleg. But this is more rip-off. This is someone that says Star Wars is hot right now. Hey, don't we got some aliens we released, some robots toys we released years ago? Well, let's make a package that kind of looks like Star Wars. Maybe we'll use the word Star or Wars or Space or something on it and pick up some of those sales. Kids going in, they want aliens. There's no Star Wars aliens on the shelf. So, hey, they'll buy these aliens right here. Or maybe they got, only a few aliens. Hey, let's get some more aliens on the market, some more robots. You get some more robots for the Kenner Droid factory to play along, or maybe something like that. Kids were crazy about anything space, even if it was Star Wars. So this is really, I don't know if you can call it rip-off, but trying to cash in on the Star Wars name. Some of them, George Lucas even sued. So I broke this into two different categories. We're going to look at space toys and Star toys. That's right, toys with the name Space in the title, and then some with Star in the title. Some of these I did longer videos on, so if you like them, check that out. But let's start right here with Space, ones that use Space in the title. Okay, the first one to hit the market was 1977 with these right here, Space Robot. These are like really tall Benthams. As you can see, they're not really that fun looking and don't look that much like Star Wars, but I'm sure, like I've said, some toy company probably had these space-like toys in their warehouse and say, hey, let's get these out here, because these hit the market again before Kenner could get to the market. This was 1977, one of the first space toys to hit the toy shelf after the release of Star Wars. You can see he's got a little planet. It looks like it might be something from Star Wars. He's got some ships that looks like the saucer section from the Star Trek Enterprise ship that we all know and love today. But they're not really that fun. In 1978, you had Space Fighters, and these really look like they were to scale with Star Wars figures. Maybe not exactly to scale, but they have jointed head, arms, and legs, just like Star Wars figures, and these will look good in the Creature Cantina. And then you had Space War Play Kids line. This was actually sued by Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm won. But to me, yeah, they do look like they're trying to capture the Star Wars feel, or maybe capture some of the Star Wars sales, but they don't look that much like Star Wars, where someone needs to go out and sue them and take their business away from them. And these were not recommended for kids 3 years or over. Oh, excuse me, recommended. I was going to say, not recommended. I did a whole video on these, so you might want to check them out right here. And then we've got in 1980, we got Space Creatures, just a lot of little rubber toys. Again, these not really compete with the Kenner toys, but you can see where they're saying, hey, Star Wars is really hot right now. Let's pick up some extra sales with these right here. And in 1980, you had these right here, these little bitty racers right here, Space Raiders. And again, they come with different things, robots and ships. And you can tell, although they're not trying to rip off Star Wars, they are trying to capitalize on the success of Star Wars. But let's go all the way to the early 2000s. This might be more the bootleg. I should have put this in more of a bootleg category, but being that they're not in the same scale and they're trying to rip off a bootleg, a figure that's already on the market because they're on a different scale, we have Space Power Warrior. But look at this, it's got a B-Wing on the pallet, it's got a unmade Death Star from Return of the Jedi, it's got Darth Vader on the cover, much like the Darth Vader you see on the Power of the Force packages in the 90s. So clearly these are, I can't believe, if these didn't get sued, I would be very shocked. They were made in Japan. And the last of the space figures was Space Defender, also released, and I couldn't find a real date on this. I think it was the late, probably the 2010s. Space Defender. It's like mixing a stormtrooper with a Darth Vader. Look at that Darth Vader back there. It looks like something you see in Turkish Star Wars more than the Star Wars movie, because with a lightsaber, lights up, and it says it's ready to play. No batteries included, because it already has the batteries in it. But Space Defender right there. Whew. Now tell me those wouldn't rip off. Again, trying to cash in. I'm not saying that they tried to, make something that looked just like Darth Vader or Han Solo or something. Most of these look like they were just trying to take the alien and robot concept. Well, at the time we thought Darth Vader might be a robot, but You notice they didn't really take the human Luke. They weren't trying to rip off Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia, or anything like that. They were trying to take the look of the aliens and robots, because let's be honest, that's what the kids really, really loved. And when they came to Star toys, that happened also. So let's look at toys with the word Star on them. In 1977, Ideal released Star Team, and they really went out with this line. There's action figures, there's role-playing accessories, there's all kinds of things that go with this line. Only 3 figures in the set, but this was sued by George Lucas. But they won. Ideal won this because they actually made these in the late 60s, or at least some of them in the late 60s, but brought them back out in 1977, again trying to capitalize on Star Wars. They said, hey, we turned down the Star Wars. That's right. Ideal turned down the Star Wars rights, and they said, hey, we already got these alien Star Wars looking figures in the warehouse and the molds. Let's ship them back out. And that's what they did. And they didn't. They got sued by Lucasfilm and Kenner, but the courts agree with them that they're not Star Wars toys. And then we have Star Raiders, also released in 1977. Hit the market before Kenner could. And look at the package on these things. It does have a Star Wars look on the package. They kind of, to me, look more like Mego Star Trek, but that line was already dead, so I'm sure they weren't trying to take those sales. But maybe they say we can capture both right here. But kids were crazy about aliens, and there was no Star Wars aliens to buy on the shelf. They were going to buy Star Raiders. And probably one of the biggest, not really rip-off, but trying to cash in, was done by Milton Bradley. Can you believe? Yeah, Milton Bradley did this. The Starbird. I know a lot of people that had this back in 1978 when this was released, and they used this as a Star Wars ship, just like the Space 1999 ship. I didn't put it on here because it's based on a TV show and everything. They also had a Starbird command set, so you could have a little play set for your figures when they did come out. Well, this is 1978. They were already on the shelf. And you also have Star Command. Interplanet Star oh, I thought it was just Star Ward. I don't even know how to say that. Star Ward. Let me know how to say that in the comments. Look at that. Like that package back there. Looks like a Chewbacca wearing some yellow pants, and but I do like his yellow ribbon. It looks really pretty on him right there. But as you can see right here, they got other toys in the line. And the same company also made, well, go back to that one in the yellow. Look at his feet. Why is his feet curled up like that? That can't be easy to walk. But he has been walking around for years and years with no shoes on. But they also released a line of smaller figures right here that fit really well with the Star Wars figures. I'm surprised this one didn't get sued right here. And in 1978, they released Starfleet. That sounds like something from that sounds more like something from Star Trek. But as you can see here, there's aliens and robots and whatnot, and they're trying to cash in on the kids that wanted to buy something Star Wars. Maybe you already had R2-D2, 3PO. You had all the droids at this time in 1978. You wanted more droids or more aliens. Here you go, Starfleet Defender. They're die-cast metal, so you're not going to get them mixed up with your Star Wars figures, and you won't be able to throw them at your sister's head. As you can see, what I tell you, aliens, robots, that was really big. And Mattel, man, Mattel trying to cash in a little bit too with that Starbird, didn't they? Yeah, you admit it. Either you or one of your friends had a Starbird, and you played along with it with your Star Wars figures. Be honest. Be honest. Anyway, that's a look at some time toy companies tried to rip off or cash in on the success of Star Wars. Let me know, did you have any of these? Did they substitute for Star Wars until you get more Star Wars toys? Sometimes they were fun to play along. I wouldn't mind having some of these aliens myself to hang out in the Cantina playset that I got over there. Let me know that and more in the comments below. And until the next video, we'll talk again.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.